G'day folks. Well, I'm just mucking around polishing. It's a beautiful evening outside at the moment. It's Boxing Day, so it's been fantastic. Pardon my neck, I've actually pulled it. I've bloody buggered up my neck right behind here. You've probably noticed I've actually lost a little bit of size. I've had a bit of time off. I do a few little weights, and I've actually had 3 or 4 months off, just really back right off, and cause I've had actually a bit of an injury in here, but it's actually coming better now. So and I've sort of got back into it a little bit. But I went a little bit aggressive last night, and paying the price for it. So another day or two, and it'll free up. It's just a slight little bit of a niggle in the back there. I'll be fine. I want to sort of talk about what's my reason? Why did I end up rear mounting, putting a turbo out the back? What's my reason? Well, and I've done that benefits video there a while back, the benefits of rear mounting a turbo. Well, I want to talk about, from my experience, why did I put a rear mount turbo on it? Why didn't I just put him up the front like everyone else does and, you know, do that? Well, to be honest, guys, you see, I had an old mate, friend of mine years ago. We don't see much of each other, but we're still mates. He said to me, Jace, he said there when I first turboed the car, and I was just enjoying the benefits from it. And he said, and I said to him, I can't understand why more people don't do it. And he said, well, he said that the reason they don't is because the majority of people have got them up the front, okay? So they're influenced on that alone. So if you're thinking turboing your car, you naturally think putting it up the front. Whether through research and your mates are telling you what to do, or and 90% of the cars, 99% of the cars you buy pretty much are up the front. Now, the reason I sort of ended up putting it out the back, it was I wanted more power, guys, running around just normally aspirated. I was actually going to put a big block in it, and and that's all very well, and I weighed up the costs and all that, and it was just, at the end of the day, it probably wouldn't have cost me any more to put a big block in it. But there was something. I saw a video, from a DVD that I was lent, and this guy had put one in a Commodore, and it sort of just planted the seed. I was actually thinking of going up the front traditionally when I first sort of thought about putting a turbo on. Once I got this big block out of my system and realised I probably wanted something a little bit, a bit more. So yeah, and this video sort of come up, and then I got sort of really thinking about it. And see, at the time, guys, I wasn't circuit racing the car, it was just on the street, but I wanted to. And so I came up this idea of, well, this video I'd seen was a guy that he had it mounted out the back, and it just clicked. It's like it just clicked. I never thought really at the time the weight differences, the actual benefits from it, like from having a turbo out the back. I just thought it was going to be easier to install. That was basically it, because I don't have to do too much fabrication up the front. It was basically because I'd had really good header pipes, and I had a reasonable exhaust system, and I thought, geez, I don't want to ruin all that. And that was the idea. You just bolt it on down the back, plumb it all in, and then you run your charge pipe up, and boom, you've got boost. Well, it turns out it's not as simple as that, guys. There's a little bit more to it, and it's taken me sort of 5 years to refine it to where I'm 99% extremely happy with it. But that's how it started. And it was actually a blessing in disguise, because if I'd have been running one up the front, guys, I don't honestly feel I'd be that successful. It's just so much better out the back, it is, because all your heat's out the back, you've got great weight distribution out the back, and it just makes sense. It keeps all your engine bay heat free. You don't build up that massive heat that you would with a turbo up the front. They're not light things, they're around 20 kilograms. So, you know, the idea with what I'm trying to do, guys, is pull weight out of the front of the car and try and distribute it over the back wheels. You know, you basically want a 60-40 weight. If you was having turbos up the front, all your plumbing and heavy pipe work and all that, you're never going to achieve it. It'd be just too front heavy. So running it out the back is just unbelievable. And I don't have any heat issues, you know, like I've seen other guys running hard, you know, and they've got to do all this modifications to try and keep heat away from the turbos, you know, introduction of air from front vents in here, ducting and shielding all around it. At the end of the day, it's out the back, it never causes an issue. And it's just been unbelievable. It really has, guys. I've been, you know, doing these videos, 270 odd videos now, and you know, I'm just really honing in on the way it all sort of works, refining everything with my oil drain back system that I built. Getting rid of that intercooler and then going to the water methanol, you know. It's been, look, I'll be honest, guys, it's one of the most amazing upgrades I've ever done to this car. And I know that the power potential that I've got now, it's just ridiculous, and it's just so reliable, you know. If I'd have put a big block in here, for one, to try and get that same amount of power and torque, you would have to work it, like stay NA, you would have to do a ridiculous amount of work to it, and you'd end up having to go on an all alloy block, and you'd really have to spend some big dollars, you know. I've still stuck with a small block, you know, the original factory motor that it came out with. It's easy, cheap to work on. The turbo offers so much torque and power, it's unbelievable. It really is. So that's the reason why I put it out the back, guys. And that's the reason why I've been doing this channel, is to try and get people to understand that it's an amazing thing running them out the back. For me, I'd never put it in the front. There is just no way, even if I was on the road just cruising around drag strip, no, it's got to be out the back. I'm just one of those guys that have seen the light when it comes to rear mount turbos, and you know, it's hard to convince people, but at the end of the day, you can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And that's what I'm sort of doing with this channel, is just showing people how good it is, but I'm not trying to make you drink, guys. At the end of the day, you make your own decision on it. But while all that's going on, I'm having the time of my life with this rear mount turboing. But for ones who want to know about it a little bit more, I'm willing to help you out. I'm willing to try and point you in the right direction, from my experiences, and that's what it's all about, guys. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little vid. I'm just sort of throwing stuff out up there at the minute. I'm sort of just mixing them up a little bit and trying to make it sort of a little bit interesting, because, look, to be honest, I'm just as passionate today as I was the first time I started up with the rear mount on it. It's unbelievable. All right, guys, I'll put one up soon. Catch you later.